guys, I'm back and today I am going to read Demon Dentist by David Williams. So I have already read the introduction, the names of the characters, the thank yous because they're pretty funny, and the prologue. And the link of that video is in the description box. So let's start reading Chapter 1. Chapter 1. A simple case of toothache. Alfie hated to go to the dentist. As a result, the boy's teeth were almost all yellow. The ones that weren't yellow were brown. They bore stains of all the goodies that children love, but dentists hate. Sweets, fizzy drinks, chocolate. The teeth that were neither yellow nor brown simply weren't there anymore. They had fallen out. One had bitten into a coffee and stayed there. Assorted fruit-flavored chews had claimed others. This is what young Alfie looked like when he smiled. This is how he looked when he smiled. That's because this 12-year-old boy hasn't gone to the dentist since he was very little. Alfie's last visit was when he was around 6. It was a simple case of toothache, but ended in a disaster. The dentist was an ancient man, Mr. Erstwhile. Despite his good intentions, Mr. Erstwhile should have retired many years ago. The dentist looked like a tortoise, an old tortoise at that. He wore glasses so thick that they made his eyes appear to be the size of tennis balls. Mr. Erstwhile told Alfie the tooth in question was rotten, and filling wouldn't save it. And unfortunately, he had no option but to take it out. The dentist yanked and yanked with his huge steel forceps, but the tooth wouldn't come out. Mr. Erstwhile even rested his foot upon the chair by Alfie's head to lever himself against it to help wrench the wretched tooth out. Still, it wouldn't come. The ancient dentist then enlisted the help of his even older dental nurse, Miss Prigg. Miss Prigg was instructed to hold him and tug as hard as she could. And then the tooth wouldn't come. Soon the hefty receptionist, Miss Veal, was asked to step into the room to help. Miss Veal weighed more than Mr. Erstwhile and Miss Prigg put together. But even with all her ballast, the tooth wouldn't come out. Just then the dentist had an idea, and ordered Miss Prigg to fetch some particularly thick dental floss. He carefully tied the floss around the forceps, and then looped it around Miss Veal's ample frame. The dentist then instructed his rotund receptionist to leap out the window on a count of 3. But even with all of Miss Veal's immense weight yanking on the boy's tooth, it still wouldn't come out. With poor Alfie still lying in terror on the dentist's chair, Mr. Erstwhile stepped into his waiting room to request reinforcements. The growing crowd of patients waiting to be seen were all called upon to assist. Young, old, fat, thin, the elderly dentist needed all the help he could get. Nevertheless, even with the lengthy human chain and the army of yankers, made-up word, alert, the tooth stayed well and truly put. By this time, poor Alfie was in great distress. The pain of having his tooth pulled out was 100 times worse than the toothache. However, Mr. Erstwhile was determined to finish what he had started. Sweating profusely, the thirsty dentist took a large swig of mouthwash and gripped onto the forceps as tightly as he could. Finally, after what seemed like days, weeks, even months of yanking, Alfie heard a defending crunch. The dentist had gripped so hard he had crushed the tooth. It exploded into thousands of tiny fragments inside Alfie's mouth. When the ordeal was finally over, Mr. Erstwhile all his helpers were lying tangled in a heap on the surgery floor. "Well done, everybody," he announced, as his assistant, Miss Prig, helped him to his feet. "Oh, that tooth was a stubborn little blighter." Just then, Alfie realized something. He still had the toothache. The dentist had taken out the wrong tooth. So, guys, that was the end of the first chapter. In the next video, I'll do the second chapter. That's called Belief. So, yeah. Okay, now this time I'm going to remember. Please like and subscribe my channel. And bye, guys. See you in my next video.